Hi guys, welcome to our first podcast. I'm Collie Dolly, and I'm here with my boy Bullet Magnet 37. You know him if you've been here before. He is a fixture on the channel. Bullet, how you doing today, man?
Real good, man. How are you doing?
Not too shabby, brother. Thanks for asking. So we just got done chopping it up about the game and how there hasn't really been a lot of incentive to play it as of late. We're both max level, and we kind of are at a loss what to do right now, considering there hasn't been any new content for a while. And Bullet was actually just saying that public matches are just kind of terrible. So we're gonna just kind of
Oh,
talk.
dude.
Yeah, you know, it's if you
Make you
play
want
the
to
game,
slit your wrist.
right? If you played the game before, you know what we're talking about. You know the backing out, the lag. It's real. Um, First topic I wanted to bring up, Bullet, is Daniel Nixon, aka Shifty Samurai's post. He's the community leader of the F13 forums, and he dropped this post April 23rd. In summation, it's just pretty much talking about how the update isn't going to be ready for April. Um, they're not sure when it's going to drop, but they are going to make an announcement regarding it. How do you feel about it, Bullet? Knowing that they specifically said April before the month started, and now
Well,
we're in May
hold
now.
up.
Huh?
They did not say there would be an update in April. They said it could be ready as early as April.
Oh,
They didn't specifically say, yeah, we will have an update for April. They just said it could possibly be done by April.
okay.
And
Fine
that
print.
that's where a lot of the confusion's been coming in for this update, because everyone's like, oh well, they said April, they said April. Well, no, they didn't. Look for them keywords. Possibly, could be, might. Those are very important words. They may not seem like it, but they are.
I'm one of those people. I guess where I was going with this is, it's been kind of a long stretch since we've seen anything new in the game, and considering everyone who I would say currently plays the game and is part of the community must really love it. When you take into account all the factors that I think really drove people away from the game, the lack of content, the issues, and I know it's a small
and
team.
and that's the point, like you said right there, all the issues.
Uh huh.
I mean, look at it this way. Look how that game started. It was a train wreck.
Fair enough.
And with every update they put out, it's gotten better and better and better. Now, this big update, everyone wants it. I want it. You want it.
Oh yeah.
It's coming. And the longer it takes them to get it out, the better it's gonna be. Why would you want them to rush and put out garbage? Let them take their time, work out all their bugs, work out on their kinks. Maybe we'll actually get an update finally that's not a train wreck, that we'll be able to play. You know, they're giving us a new engine, which translates to it's basically going to be a brand new game. The engine is the basis that game is, that any game is fixed on. That engine makes all the difference. So a lot of the bugs and glitches, ideally are going to disappear with this new update. Let them get it right, and it'll be smooth. It'll be fun to play again. You won't have to worry about, I'm trying to climb through a window and, oh shit, Jason grabbed me. That bug will be gone. The bug where Jason grabs you up to kill you and it teleports you across the map to somewhere else. Hopefully that'll be gone.
Hopefully.
Oh, I'm swinging, I'm hitting Jason and it's going right through him. Hopefully that'll all disappear. You
Hopefully.
know, the longer it takes them to get this done, that gives them time to work through all those little kinks. A lot of people are like, they don't pay attention to what we're saying. Yeah, they do. They really do. But everybody in this society today is instant gratification. We want it now, 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 now. Patience, people. Patience.
I'm not going to argue with that, Bull. It's very much the truth. I guess I kind of got my hopes up, you know. And don't get me wrong,
Oh,
like
we all did.
I was completely realistic regarding the Friday, April 13th release date or lack thereof. Like I knew for a fact it was not coming that week. Um, I guess it's just, you know, we're sitting here now in May and you know, we're still in the same boat. I completely agree with everything you just said. I just, on the other hand, I'm kind of just sitting here, kind of not forced to play other games, but you know, what are you going to do eventually when you know, when there's
Well, I
been
mean,
kind of considerable wait. What's up?
Friday the 13th is just like any other game. You're going to get burned out playing it. I mean, you can only play a game so much before you start to get burned out on it. And yeah, the new content helps, but still, is it really going to help that much?
Fair enough. Well, I don't know. I mean, every time there's a new, even like even if they just drop a counselor, you know, it's not a whole big patch or update. It's just like literally a single thing. Like that gets me excited. They can, you know, drop any little thing and it'll get me excited. I understand they have to do the new engine before they start doling out new content again. I guess you know, like I said, I'm just a little
Well,
deflated right now, but
and look at the amount of content that's coming out with this update.
yeah,
We have never gotten this much content at one time. We're getting a new engine. We're getting the single
single
player
player. Hmm.
challenges. We're getting a new counselor. We're getting the weapon swapping. We're getting the new color swap for Roy.
Hmm.
What the hell else is there? I mean,
Um,
there's just so much content that's coming out with just this one update. And that isn't even the tip of the iceberg of the content they're going to be putting out for this game. You know, there's been some stuff leaked, you know, how much truth there is to it or not. There's probably going to be another year's worth of content yet to come. And they haven't even talked about the dedicated servers, which is going to be really nice.
yeah. Yeah, what's up with that? Because I thought the update, the engine update, and the dedicated servers go hand in hand. Like I thought that was
Well, they do, but the way that that goes hand in hand is they have to update the engine to be able to support the dedicated servers.
servers. Okay, it's not like it's
So
gonna
they
be
got
like
to put this update out, run it through, see how it's going to hold up, and then they're going to incorporate the dedicated servers. That's why they created the salt mines. So that during this transition, while everybody's backing out of games and all this and that, they can throw them people out onto their own, and the people that actually want to play the game can play the game. They can sit through and monitor the gameplay, see how everything's going, and then incorporate those dedicated servers. At least that's the understanding I have from all the stuff that I've read.
I mean, that's why, you know, I am ultimately doing this podcast with people. I think out of everyone I know, you are really, really knowledgeable when it comes to this game. So I'll take your word for it, man. You've never steered me wrong in the past. But really quick, since we are on this topic and we are talking about Daniel Nixon's post from April 23rd, um, what are your thoughts on the engine update gameplay, the comparison between the old build and the new build? Like, what did you take away from that video out of curiosity, Bullet?
From again, you're watching a video on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
so as far as like what the graphics changes are going to look like and everything, you're not really going to be able to tell too much from the video they posted out. I mean, from what I could see for myself,
Hmm.
it just looks like they made the game darker.
Yeah, that's
But
literally what I was gonna
again,
say. Uh-huh.
it's a YouTube video.
Yeah, it's not
You're
like it's right in front
watching
of you.
it in whatever quality they put that video out at. And then you got to take on top of it whatever you're watching it on. Like my phone, the
Hmm.
best I can watch a YouTube video is at 720.
Okay.
You know, now if I was watching it on my PlayStation, I can see it in 4K. But again, the video itself at max is 1080p.
Yeah.
So by looking at it, it looks a little bit darker. The edges look a little bit more crisp and clear. I mean, it looks pretty good. Now, once the actual update's out, and I'm playing on a PS4 Pro, so I'm going to have the best possible graphics as far as the console goes, along with the 4K TV and everything. So I'm just kind of holding judgment on that until I actually get to play it for myself and see it for myself.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering, because that was what you initially had said was my first impression of this video. I have it up as we're speaking on my desktop, and I'm watching it at 1080p. And from what I can see, and my initial impression when I watched it on my phone was it just looked like they made it darker and like up the saturation. I did
Right.
notice that, like, for some reason, Chad's face looks super shiny in the opening cutscene. For whatever reason that is, but I wasn't, like, I guess, blown away. Again, this is going back to that, like, sort of topic of expectation versus reality. I guess in my head, I had thought it was going to look like a whole new fucking game, like a whole new. It was just going to be a whole new world. And to see this, not that it was disappointing. I'm glad that the game's darker. I think that's something that's needed to happen. I think the game should really try to continue to veer more in a scary direction, with buffing Jason, nerfing the counselors, and now doing stuff like this. But I actually, you know what? Now that you bring that up, Bullet, never really thought of it that way. That we are watching the comparison on YouTube. Whatever device you watch the video on, you're kind of restricted. You're kind of held back by,
Yeah,
the
your results are going to vary.
exactly by the limits of whatever technology you're using to see this. So you're right. I never thought of it that way. I'll reserve my final judgment until it's up on my PS and I'm streaming it with you guys. But I will say my initial impressions were that it just, like, literally looked darker. But it does.
Which is a good thing.
Oh yeah,
It
it's a good
needs to
thing.
be darker.
Mm-hmm.
They need to. That's another problem that I feel personally. My opinion. People can hate all they want. I don't think the game's scary anymore. The game is not scary. The whole freaking emotes and all that, I feel need to go away.
You don't like the emotes?
I mean, that's why the game's not scary anymore. Think about it. If this was reality, which it's not, I know it's not, but I'm saying if you were faced with Jason fucking Voorhees, you're not going to stand there and smack him with a bat and then start dancing. If Jason Voorhees was really standing in front of you, your ass is fucking running, pissing yourself, and shitting yourself.
Okay.
For real. And that, I know, Grant, it's a video game. That's never going to happen.
And see, like, I actually like the emotes. I like the fact that, like, compared to, say, the game that's, I think, right now the closest to it on the market, Dead by Daylight, Friday kind of has a little bit of that fun factor, kind of, tinged in its DNA. And, like, I feel like, yes, it is a horror game. I want this game to be scary as hell. Like, trust me, I'm with you 100% on that, Bullet. I just, if we are playing a game, especially, like, for, like, my specific case, like, I stream this game for hours on end, when I do, I like the fact that there are those little details that we could kind of, partake in. Not everyone does the dancing emotes, but to kind of touch back on something I know you've said a lot in the past, like, to kind of counter that and make it so that it doesn't kind of undercut any sort of scary feeling that comes with, playing this game. Jason should be able to do things like grab counselors through windows, doorways, even broken doors, excuse me. Or if they're dancing on top of him after they smack him, he should be able to grab them to kind of counter these things. But I like the emotes. I like stuff like that. I think.
I mean, I kind of sounded like a dick on that. I mean, I do like the emotes, but I don't like the effect that they have on the game. I don't like the joke factor that comes with the game of trolling Jason and all that, and just ha 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 laughing about it. Look, that's the part I don't like about it.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you added
You know,
those
like
kinds of things.
with these single player challenges, they got it set up to where there's 10 challenges, and each skull challenge you complete, you're going to unlock 3 new emotes. And they even put out a list of what each emote is. And there's only one on that entire list that just by the name I'm looking forward to, and that's the flip off. You're going to be able to flip the fucking finger at somebody. That's the only one I'm looking forward to, just by the names. Just by the names. Now, once
Right.
I see what they are, there might be some that will be awesome.
Yeah.
But the middle finger, hell yes.
Yeah.
Flipping the bird,
I
I'm on it.
saw it.
That'll probably be the only one that I have on my characters. Unless after I see them all and then something's fucked up, I'll definitely have the fucked up ones on.
I'm definitely gonna use the flipped off one, man. It's too good to pass up. It's so memeable. Bullet, but since you brought it up, this I think would be a good time to pivot over to it. What do you think of how the single player challenges are like shaping up and I think they're called skull objectives. Like I'll say for
Yeah.
one, that I'm kind of glad that at least from what I've heard and seen about that they seem to be at least like a little bit of a challenge, that they're not going to be a walk in the park. Essentially, it's not going to be offline bots, where like you're kind of running around and killing brain dead AI and you're just kind of using it to for whatever rewards it is. In the case of offline bots, it's just to abuse them and get the XP. But what do you think of how these single player challenges are kind of taking form, Bullet? Out of curiosity, I want to know.
I, really, the only thing I've seen on them is the one video they put out of Adam and Bugsy at the car.
Okay.
And I mean, it looks pretty cool for what they have set up with it.
So,
But yeah, that's all I've seen. And then, just from what little bit of information they have posted out about it, like I said, I think it's going to be pretty cool.
mm-hmm.
I think, though, it's not going to last very long. It's not going to be very time consuming.
Yeah, it's not something you're going to ride out, 6 months from now and still be doing them. And I'm with you on that. But what I was saying about the skull objectives, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Like you're rewarded in single player challenges for doing things like being undetected or doing a specific type of kill on, a certain counselor. Like there are going to be, I guess, parameters you got to fulfill when playing these single player challenges. You can't just like walk around and kill them all and like be done with it. You actually have to like bring some sort of
Right.
skill to the table. And I like that. I like that they're really making an effort to differentiate it from essentially offline bots. Because that's what I was kind of worried initially that it would be. And I'll be honest with you, this whole time I haven't been too hyped over single player challenges. Like, yeah, the cinematic trailer made me feel some things. And, I'm excited to see more cinematics in the game. I've been saying this from day one. But I was just worried that the actual gameplay was literally going to be like a glamorous offline bots. And I'm really happy that, you're going to have to really put some more thought and consideration into the game when you play single player challenges. But yeah, check it out. They're called skull objectives.
I'm thinking there's a lot of things people are wanting to see in this game. I think we're going to get in the single player challenges. Like, a lot of people are talking about they want Mark, the wheelchair counselor, in the game. That's where we're going to see him. I will bet my left testicle that is going to be one of those skull objectives, is to kill Mark. And, it's going to be, I have a feeling a lot of these kills are going to be like movie scene, like the scenes are in the movies. That's how you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to hit him in the face with a machete, and then you're going to get the cutscene of him going down the stairs in the wheelchair. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'd bet my left testicle that's the way a lot of this is going to be. When you do some of these kills, they're going to be set up just like they are in the movies. And
Hopefully.
That's going to be awesome.
Hopefully. Anything they can do to tie this game closer to the franchise, I'm all for it. Speaking of which, Uh, I think I already mentioned him once before, but it's only because I'm such a big fan. But Slash and Cast, I think, dropped a video a day or two ago talking about the possibility of Reckless Reggie coming to the game. Did you happen to see that?
I seen the post, but I haven't watched the video yet.
Okay.
That again, I imagine that's probably going to be one of the single player deals,
Okay.
and maybe it'll be a thing to where I'm wondering how much stuff from the single player is going to carry into the multiplayer. Like you have to, like, say Reckless Reggie, for example.
Hmm.
Maybe once you get to that part in the single player challenges, then he's unlocked to be playable in multiplayer.
That's actually a really great
You
idea.
know, stuff like that would be kind of cool for them to do if they go that route. That would be awesome.
I agree. I agree. I know, the actor's obviously an adult now, and I think he's expressed interest in like, being involved. I honestly, for one, wouldn't be opposed to, if they do port him over to multiplayer, running around as a little kid counselor, or if I'm playing as Jason, killing a little kid counselor. I mean, it's a video game after all.
Right.
People don't judge me for being immoral or anything. But I saw that post the other day, and it kind of just stuck out to me. It's something that I think I've mentioned in the past, and I said something along the lines of like, I want Reckless Reggie in the game just so I can hear his scream every time Jason comes out. And I'm glad that like that is kind of maybe starting to come to fruition. Hopefully, I'm knocking on wood. You just can't see it right now.
Well, like I said, I'm waiting to see what happens with this salt mine thing, because
Hmm.
that's the real big issue right now is getting into a public match and hosts quitting, Jason's quitting, and all that. It just makes it a freaking nightmare. And for players like you and me we're maxed out.
Yeah,
There's really nothing else left for us to do. I mean, myself personally, all I have left to do is be Jason for 1,000 times. It doesn't matter if I kill everybody on the map, if everybody escapes. What I do now doesn't matter. All I have to do is be picked to be Jason. And it gets real frustrating when you're in a match and the host quits. That round doesn't count.
maybe it should.
That's something I hope they look into and maybe fix to where when that situation does happen, that it does still count towards your goal for that trophy.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, if that was the case, if that did, I'd have a platinum trophy already, as much as I've played this game. Jesus Christ, I
I
have,
believe you.
for the longest time, I was a no life having Friday the 13th player.
I know
I
you.
mean,
I know you grind, man.
if the levels just kept leveling you up, I'd be like a level 500 or better by now.
I
That's another
believe
thing. I
you.
wonder if they're going to raise that too.
I think they will.
If they're going to raise that cap with the update,
I think they will.
that's not something they haven't mentioned.
Yeah.
But our meter still keeps filling up, and every once in a while, I don't know. Have you noticed? Has it told you that you've reached a level 150 more than the one time that you did it?
Um. No, I don't think so. Not to my knowledge. But you keep getting that
I've had that
notification.
happen. I've had it happen 3 times.
Huh.
It says congratulations, you've reached level 150. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. That's weird. But you
But
know
it's
what?
done it to me 3 separate times.
But it's that's the thing. We're talking about Friday the 13th, the game bullet. Like I feel like it's almost like the Wild West out here. Anything is on the table, really. Like in any other game, I would kind of really question it and like, you know, see if this is happening to other people. But the fact that we're talking about F13 right now, um, I've seen. I mean, both of us, in this stream series that we've been doing for a long time now, have seen a plethora, just so many fucking things happen. Glitches, bugs, like it's crazy. And I'm not surprised anymore with anything that I see. In this game, to be honest. But let me ask you this: since we are on the topic bullet, are you still convinced that assault mines don't really exist, that it's just some kind of scare tactic to get us all in line and like not do trolling shit.
Well, as of right now, they don't exist. That's going to be supposedly a thing that comes with the update.
Yeah.
I mean, now I can tell you, I am purposely going to get myself thrown into the salt
Oh,
mines
me too, dude. Yeah.
just because I want to experience it.
Yeah.
I want to experience every possible thing they put out for this game. I mean, granted, as messed up as this game is,
Yeah.
I still had fun with it. Yeah, it's frustrating. It gets irritating. It makes you want to take your controller and smash it on the floor, grab your TV, throw it out a fucking window and everything. But it's still fun. Look at everything this game has done. How many, myself included, how many of you out there, before you started playing this game, had less than 20 people in your friends list? Then
Me.
once you started playing this game, you got 2, 3, 400 people in your friends list. That's got to speak for something.
Of course.
Just the social impact this game has had, even with all the bugs and problems. I've made some really good friends, Collie included. I'd say Collie is the best friend I've made, and that came from Friday the 13th.
Back at you, bud. Yeah, I completely agree. I had 3 people on my friends list before I started playing it, and I started getting requests and sending them out before I even started streaming, so I hear you on that, and I'm with you. This game is fun. I think that is the best thing going for this game, other than the fact that, it has a really amazing IP, attached to it, is the fact that it is replayable. It is super fun. You can do so much, and you would think not because it's a very, it's not like a limited structure, but there's only so many ways you can be Jason and kill 7 counselors or try to survive or whatever. And the fact that like, we're already coming up on a year, I think in a couple days actually, since this game
No,
got,
26th.
yeah, there you go. Since the game got dropped, and we're still all about it. Like I'm streaming a lot of other games these days, but I'm still all about this game. The minute the update drops and we got new shit for this game, and the bugs and shit are fixed, like I'm going back to like primarily streaming this and like doing late nights, and like I'm going to be grinding on this game again. And that's saying something for a game that's been out for a year already, that's not an established title like, I don't know, COD or GTA even. Like the fact that,
Well, to your point, look at COD and GTA. GTA, I'll kind of exclude from this because there's still a shit ton of people playing it.
mhm,
But like Call of Duty, the game isn't even a year old, and the player base has just damn near disappeared. Friday the 13th, every time I turn on my PlayStation and I look at my friends list, over half of the people in my friends list are playing Friday the 13th. When I scroll over to my Friday the 13th app and it brings up at the bottom of the screen, all your trophies and who's playing, who's doing what. Like right now, as a prime example, out of my friends list, I have 28 people still playing Friday the 13th right now. Call of Duty is right beside it. For World War II, nobody in my friends list is playing Call of Duty World War II right now. Nobody.
sounds about right.
Let's see. Battlefront 2,
Oh God.
nobody.
Yeah,
Nobody.
yeah.
Dead by Daylight, I have one person in my friends list playing Dead by Daylight right now.
Yes.
As much as people whine, bitch, moan, and complain about Friday the 13th, people are still playing it. People are putting out there, oh, Friday the 13th's dying. It's a dead game, blah, blah, blah. I don't see it. I don't see where Friday the 13th is dead at all. This game is thriving.
I mean, as it stands right now, it definitely, I I disagree with the statement that people throw out there that this game is dead. It's far from it. I am completely piggyback of what you just said, Bullet. You know, it still has the base. You would have no problem any day of the week going into a public match and at least getting a full lobby, maybe 7 people, whatever, on a day-to-day basis. I will, however, just to kind of counter that, say that it's kind of suffering right now, and it's for a couple reasons. A, just the wait, but that's kind of an inevitable thing. We already talked about how the devs really need to take the time and put out a good product, rather than drop a bunch of slop into our laps. Um, and the fact that like a game that shall not be mentioned is like literally suffocating every other game right now. Um,
Yeah.
but you know, despite all this, it's not. I will say I'll look at my friends list right now, as a matter of fact, and I'll tell you right now that man, it's just getting to the point of getting this update because I think people, most people at least by nature, they kind of follow the hype, and right now there's nothing to really get kind of hyped about with this game. But
Right.
we know when it does drop, I completely agree with people. This game is not dead by any measure of the word. Take it away, Bullet. Anything you want to add to that? Yeah.
Just everybody keep playing Friday the 13th.
Yes. Give it.
Be patient.
Hmm.
Don't whine, bitch, moan, and complain about this update, this update. It is coming. It is coming. It may not be today. Definitely won't be today. Definitely won't be tomorrow. Honestly, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see an update in May. It may not be until June when we see it. But if it would be dropped in May, I would bet that it's going to be the last Thursday of the month. Just like every other major update this game has done, if you look back, it's been the last Thursday of the month is when they drop their updates. And right as the last post that I seen about this game, they were talking about right now pretty much all they're waiting for is the certification process to go through. So however long that's going to take, from the way that sounds, the update is done. It's ready to go. So just be patient, people. It will be coming. And it will be worth the wait.
Last Thursday of the month would actually be the 31st. The Thursday before is 2 days before the 1 year anniversary of this game. You think the 26th is a likely drop date, or you think they're going to stick to that format for sure? The Thursday.
Uh, I don't know. Like I said, every other major update was always on the last Thursday of the month.
Okay. I have no
So, I
idea.
mean, like I said, they're waiting on that certification process. Depending on how long that's going to take, I think I seen a thing a while back where it's usually Xbox that takes the longest certification to go through, and that's why like PlayStation and PC and everything gets the updates before Xbox does. But you want to know when it's going to drop? Pay attention to when it drops for PC because PC is going to get it before we do. PC always gets things first because they don't have as much bullshit to go through with the certification process. Now, who's to say that they're not going to wait until the Xbox certification's done and just drop it for everybody at the same time? That's a possibility.
Hmm. Out of curiosity, Bullet, do you know, like, for most PS4 games, how long the cert process typically takes? Like, is it weeks we're talking about, a month or two? Like, I know you kind of ballparked when you think the update could drop. Do you know, like, for most games, what that process is and how long it takes?
Um, Randy Greenback, like I was saying, there was a post a while back about that,
Yeah.
and it was Randy Greenback that posted it, and he said that it took like 6 weeks or so. I believe I could be wrong on the numbers, but it was a pretty lengthy amount of time that the certification process took. And I can't remember if he was saying that was Xbox's or if that was Sony's.
Well, either way, um, I'll still throw it on from time to time, play it with you guys, obviously, and just be eagerly waiting. Um, there is a good chance it could come in May, considering that April was potentially thrown out there, and we're now in this month. If it comes in June, so be it. But it's in the near future, guys. Just like Bullet was saying, have some faith and a lot of patience. All good things are worth waiting for, and this is definitely going to be a good thing.
And here's another way to think about it. Okay, it's not like Friday the 13th isn't like a Call of Duty or a Far Cry or a God of War where they can't make a new game every year. This isn't a sequel game. So if you think about it in that logic, the longer it takes them to drop DLC and content for this game, the longer the game's going to go on.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to have a yearly cycle like Call of Duty does where they're going to throw you a new Call of Duty every year. We're not going to get a new Friday the 13th game every year. So if it takes them a year to drop some content, look at it that way. It's like we're getting a new game every year, but we're just getting new content instead of a new game to extend the life of that game.
As
Friday
it
the
should be
13th.
done. As it should be done. I mean, Rockstar does it with GTA, and I've been saying it for a long time now, especially if you guys have been here before. You've heard it. It's the future of gaming. If I wouldn't, Bullet for one, be mad if we rode this game out for the next, I'm going to say 3 to 5 years. If we just had this foundation of a game, for the next 3 to 5 years, but every year just got a ton of new content, I am not going to be mad at that at all. I don't.
Look at Call of Duty. It's basically the same game every year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're paying. They could have taken. They haven't updated like the engine for Call of Duty or the framework mechanics of the game since Modern Warfare. Call of Duty World War II. If you get, you can look this up on YouTube. Lying crying, I ain't shed a tear. The people that have the Call of Duty games for PC, they can get into the coding of the game, and it's the same as it was for Modern Warfare. So basically, every year you're just rebuying Modern Warfare reskinned with a couple little tweaks added to it. Look how much money you're wasting. If even if all you're buying is just the base game, that's $60 a pop. Friday the 13th was $30 with a whole lot of free content. The only thing you've paid extra for is the kill packs for Jason, which were less than $10.
Mm-hmm.
The emote pack, which was less than $5. Your counselor clothing packs, which are less than $5. So even if they extend this game out for 2 more years, if they can do that, because granted, it's Friday the 13th, we've already gotten a lot of stuff, and there's only so much more they can do with it. There is going to be an end. They can't just keep going and going and going because there's only so much they can do with it. If you end up having to spend another $30-$40 over the next year or two on the game, compared to Call of Duty, you're spending pennies. You're saving all kinds of money, and look at the playability you're getting.
Yeah.
Myself, I wish they had a thing on here that I could see how many hours I've played on Friday the 13th. I really wish they did. It would probably make me. I probably got more hours playing playing Friday the 13th than I have working my job in real life, and I work a lot of overtime.
That you do, man. But you're right. I mean, it's a great value. We can, go on for days, Bullet, about how this game is great. Like, we say it all the time, but in terms of like our reasoning behind it, like, this is just another thing. For example, I just bought a fucking battle pass for Fortnite yesterday for $10. The season's gonna expire in 70 days. So essentially, if I keep doing that, that's $10 every 70 days. You count that in a year. That's a couple of games right there, probably more. And
well, but like with Fortnite though, that's not a bad deal because ultimately it's a free game.
yeah,
You have nothing vested from the get-go. And also, them battle passes and everything are optional. You don't have to have them to play the game.
true.
Unlike Call of Duty, everything that you're spending money on, you have to. Or like Star Wars, everything you're spending money on is stuff that you have to spend the money on to play the game.
They actually reworked it recently, Bullet.
Well,
Now
yeah, with Star
it's-
Wars, they
yeah,
fixed that.
yeah,
But Call of Duty, it's still the same thing. The maps and all that, you
Yeah.
have to pay for them or you can't play them.
yeah.
So like with Fortnite, that's one thing. You know how much I hate Fortnite,
I do.
but that is one thing I will definitely give that game. Yeah, you got to pay $10 for that battle pass, but that's the fourth battle pass. The game then Fortnite's been out for how long? I don't know when that game came out.
I think it started really coming to prominence, like its current form. I'm thinking like last summer. I remember that's when I started noticing it kind of popping up everywhere. But yeah.
Okay, so roughly a year
Mhm.
that it's been out, and just for the battle passes, you've spent $40. That ain't too shabby. I mean, granted, yeah, it's $40.
Yeah.
It's a couple, ultimately it's going to end up being a couple games, but still for a free game,
I guess where I was coming from is if you guys don't know this, I never really anteed up and bought a battle pass before this season. And when you look at some of the purchasing options, I did the math. Like yesterday, one of the the pickaxe, right? You can buy
Yeah.
a new pickaxe, but it's like $15. If you want a new skin, it's $20. Like the battle pass, yeah, that's reasonably priced. It does add up over time, but like $20 for a skin, $15
Right.
for a pickaxe, that's insane. Like what I love about this game is like, one can argue that the emotes probably should be worth more than they currently are. I'm actually going to see what the current retail value of those are, unless you know, Bullet. But
I think there were like $1.99 or $2.99, something like that. I mean, nothing has cost more than $5. I do know that.
Right.
$4.99 was the most expensive thing. I think that was kill packs were $4.99. I do believe.
And so what I'm saying is like it's not so much that it's a good value because, for example, Fortnite's a free game and all that. It's just the fact that like this game's $30. It's not the same. It's not in the same predicament as Fortnite. You did have to pay a base price to play it, and I guess where I'm going with this is they could, if they wanted to, charge us players more for these things. I could easily, I could easily see the emotes going for $5 or up, like real talk, maybe even 10, if they got real greedy. And I'm really, I guess, thankful that everything, like you said, Bullet, has been under $5 because when you look at everything else, every other game on the market right now, and look at their purchasing options regarding skins, cosmetic, whatever have you, it's night and day. So I will say I'm grateful to this game for that. I'm just gonna really quickly see what the
well, like Call of Duty, if you didn't buy the season pass for $50, so you're looking at $60 for all their DLC. So you've paid $60 for Call of Duty. Then you're going to pay another $60 for all the DLC if you didn't buy the season pass. So you got $120 wrapped up in a game that's only going to last 1 year.
Exactly.
Now, Friday the 13th, if it lasts 3 years with them dropping content, you're not even going to have $110 invested in this damn game.
True.
1 year of Call of Duty is more than what 3 years of Friday the 13th would be. And my opinion, you get a hell of a lot more playability and fun out of Friday the 13th. I mean, that's my opinion, mine alone. Everybody can argue with me all they want. I know it's going to happen, and I'm sorry it's going to fucking destroy your comment section, but it's going to happen. People are going to go fucking ape shit on that.
Boy, this is a
how dare you trash
forum,
Call of Duty?
Nah, man, this is an open forum. Say whatever comes to your head, dude. Seriously. But speaking of COD, I'm more salty about the fact that I'm not going to be able to max out my shit before the new game comes out. I that's the first
Right.
Call of Duty game I've ever really got into in my life. I know, judge me if you will, guys, but I'm like adding it up and like kind of like just seeing, how much more prestiging I have to do, how much, more leveling up essentially. And I don't think I'm going to have it all said and done before the next game comes out. And not every person plays games this way, but I'm kind of OCD. Like, if the new COD is coming out, I want all my shit with World War II completely wrapped up. So I feel like I got the most for my buck, I'm not going to like leave the game half done and go buy, what is it? Infinite Warfare. What is it? Modern Warfare,
Uh,
Black Ops 4 or whatever.
yeah, Black Ops 4 is the next one
Yeah.
coming out. And
So
that game is that's gonna, if all the rumors are true about that, that's gonna kill Call of Duty. This will be the last Call of Duty game, because the community is just gonna be done. Because
is
supposedly it's not gonna have a campaign. They're gonna go to a battle royale. They're gonna go basically like a Fortnite format.
uh-huh.
And if that happens, I mean, yeah, the young kids and everything will be all, oh, it's the greatest thing ever, because Fortnite is like freaking king of the hill right now.
Yeah. Do we really
So
need
everyone's gonna
another?
jump.
Do we really need another battle royale game on the market though? Between this and Fortnite and PUBG, like, do we really need a third one now? Call of Duty.
Uh, Me personally, I don't think so, but that's open for debate.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think. Oh, by the way, dance emotes 199, 199, and considering how many
See,
you get, like I'm gonna count them out right now. Um, how many dance emotes? Not dance.
I
Dance
believe
emotes.
there's 4 or 5 of just the dance.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see the new ones. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 10 for $2, not too shabby at all. They could have easily gotten away with charging $5 for these dance emotes, and the fact that it's $2, still to this day, really just is amazing. And same thing with the spring break and Halloween outfits. I know they're not for everyone. I know they're just cosmetics, but the fact that
Yeah, they
again,
were $5 a piece. Yeah,
what?
those were $4.99.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still just you don't get just one skin. Like going back to the Fortnite thing, I think it was like some
Right.
raptor looking costume that your character wears. That shit was 20 fucking bucks, bullet. And the fact that you
Yeah.
get new outfits for every single counselor. It's not like you're just paying for, I don't know, Shally dressed up as a clown, or I don't know,
Right.
Mitch dressed up like Cheech, or I mean Tommy Chong. The fact that you have skins for all, however many counselors are in the game. It's pretty great. I will say, since we are on the topic, that I do wish the devs would consider porting some of those, or at least creating some of these outfits for some of the newer counselors like Mitch, Shally, and Fox. But that's just me nitpicking at that point. It's a great value, and
Well, it's something that may come later on down the road.
yeah, not out of the question. Like you said, we may just be at towards the beginning of this game's shelf life. We could be riding this game out for another couple of years. So my boy Bullet was just saying, guys, give it a chance. Try to look at the good. Don't just like fixate on bad, and just have some patience and some faith. Trust me, I've had some lows with this game, especially recently. I stopped streaming it late at night because it's just become a nightmare. But I'm still, trust me when I say this, guys, 100% about this game. This is a game that I want to main on my channel, and it's currently still my favorite. I just need these things to drop, but everyone else does, and I'm willing to wait for it.
Right. We need something to do.
Yeah, exactly. Bullet, before we sign out, is there any final thoughts you have on these topics? Anything else you want to say, get off your chest before we wrap things up?
No, not really. I think I've said everything that I thought about it.
Ditto. this was cool. This is a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun as well listening to us banter about this. If there was, your guys' response tells me so, we'll be doing more. But overall, I'm glad that we're executing this new idea. And trust me, there are endless topics we can discuss, and I look forward to potentially doing it. Bullet, thank you.
Hell, leave down in the comments. If there's something you want to hear us talk about, leave it down in the comments. We'll be more than happy to do it.
Yeah, whether it's pertaining to this game or not. I mean, if it is pertaining to this game, like I said earlier, my dude Bullet, between Bullet and some of my other subs out there, we know a lot about it, and we can really just kind of bring our perspective, to the table, and maybe even shed some light on a few things. But yeah, please let us know your feedback. Bullet, thank you for joining me for this
no problem,
inaugural
man. Thanks for having me.
podcast on the channel. Always a pleasure, brother. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. Thank you for being here. Holly Dolly out.